Welcome to VoAC Chat. VoAC Chat is where we highlight the programs, services, and the dedicated staff of Volunteers of America Chesapeake and the Carolinas. We take you on an up-close and personal journey as we strive to fulfill our mission of empowering self-reliance and inspiring hope.
The scripture for today's VOA Chat is Deuteronomy 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. We're here today at Pratt House. It's our pleasure to host today Natasha Paris St. Amand. Natasha is with Freedom Revealed Image Consultants and is a licensed mental health and etiquette therapist based in Washington, D.C. Thank you for joining us, Natasha.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the work you're doing here?
So I am a licensed mental health therapist, but I'm also a etiquette trainer. So I'm certified in the area of everything etiquette. For a long time, I was in the arts. I was a stylist, a makeup artist. I worked for MTV. I was doing some things in those areas. But then my family, who are Haitian immigrants, said to me, "What are you doing? Like, what is this? This is you're living this life, right? But we came here to give you a better education. Make it happen." And so with that said, I went to school and I, at the end, got my master's in counseling psychology because that was always of interest. 5 to 6 years ago, I decided, because these two worlds were living in tandem but separately, and I decided that I was going to bring these two worlds together and birth of the etiquette therapist.
How did you learn about Volunteers of America?
Knowing Dr. Cheryl Neverson, she told me about the program and she told me about all of the great things that you guys are doing here, and particularly at Pratt House. And I asked her, I said, well, I would love to come in and do an employment etiquette program. And she said, well, you know what, that's a great idea. And I said, you know, are there families there? Is it whole families? And she said, yes. And I said, well, what about the children? And she said, oh my goodness, that would be great. I did a promo class for the families, and I'm gonna say this, it was so awesome. The women, the children, everyone was very attentive, and to the point where they were like, when are you coming back?
Oh, that's cool. What a wonderful testimony. So what would success look like for the adults and the children?
As it relates to the adults, I often say what success is them feeling more confident. And then also not just that, it's them saying to themselves, you know, I feel like I've received much more, or I'm better than I was when I first started. For the children, I would say that them saying, you know, Miss Natasha, I am able to make friends. I know how to make friends. Right? I know how to use appropriate gestures, or, you know, I know that I shouldn't, if I want to make friends with someone, I shouldn't hit them, right? Learning to use appropriate language, right? Learning to use their manners.
Well, thank you, Natasha, for being here, for being part of our family and being part of the success here at Pratt House.
Yes, my pleasure.
Again, welcome to our family. So we're with Jim Sense. Jim has been with Volunteers of America Chesapeake and Carolinas for 30 years.
Yes,
He's
sir.
also an Army veteran. Thank you for your service. And the reason I wanted to have you on camera and embarrass you is that we're grateful for your service, not only with Volunteers of America, but with being a veteran. And during the month of November and Veterans Day, we wanted to personally thank you, and I personally wanted to thank you for your service to our country.
Thanks.
And obviously for Volunteers of America. How long have you been around Pratt House? I mean, you saw the actual redevelopment in 2002, and you know, you've seen it come from that era to now.
About 2008, I became involved directly with Pratt with oversight. And it does a wonderful service for this city. Homeless families, gives them a place to stay. Used to be transitional.
Yep.
And then it turned to permanent housing January 1st of 2017.
Yeah.
And I just can't say really anything more about how much wonderful benefit the families get from Pratt House.
Tell us a little about your thoughts and feelings around building a bigger Pratt House.
All for it. Doubling the units, tripling the units, whatever we can do. The more units, the better, certainly. There's a lot of homeless families still out there.
Anything you want to say about your teams that you've had over the years here at Pratt House and the work they've done?
We've had some great people here. Residential One is a property management company. They do a great job. They've always had solid managers here. Services and management have always worked hand in hand from the same side of the table, which isn't always the case. There's always sort of a deficit for whatever reason between property management and services. But Res 1 doesn't seem to practice that.
That's great. Well, thanks again, Jim, for being here. Thanks for putting up with me.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Thank you.
November is National Homeless Youth Awareness Month, and we have joined the rest of the country in acknowledging the millions of children and families who are homeless today. Since 1896, we've been committed to ending the cycle of homelessness for those in need through our programs. Did you know that on any given night in Baltimore, there are more than 2,600 homeless men, women, and children? This holiday season, you can help us ensure that more people have a place to sleep at night, a warm meal in their bellies, and hope by donating to our homeless services programs. To learn more about our programs or to make a donation, visit www.voachesapeake.org.
Thank you for joining us for VOA Chat. We look forward to bringing you more exciting things going on in both Volunteers America Chesapeake and also the Carolinas. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit our website at www.voachesapeake.org.